Forgot the clapper. But dong. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional lands of the Catawba, the Kiowa, and the Sugary peoples. We honor them. My name is Cosette Blackmer, and I'm serving this morning as worship assistant for the Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. Now, okay, let me explain. I don't have all this memorized, and I had some work done on my eyes, and I've got some goop on there, and it does affect my eyesight. So, I know who she is. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all of our visitors and members, we are glad that you are here, whether you're here in person or online. We hope to see you again. Your presence is truly a gift to us. We have a couple announcements this morning. Earth Jam is coming up this week from Saturday in Salisbury. See the insert in the order of service to learn about volunteering, and please do drop by our booth and say hello. We would all like to extend a special thank you to all of those who helped the much needed work in the landscaping this week. It's Jeff, Becky, Donna, and Gio. We are grateful. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to invite Gio to come up to talk to us about our shared plate partner.
Thank you, Cosette. She's already announced about the Earth Day Jam. It's sponsored by Happy Roots, who we partnered with this month for the shared plate. This quarter, we're focusing on climate justice. So Happy Roots is a 501c3 nonprofit located in Salisbury, serving all of Rowan County, provides nature-based therapeutic and recreational services to enhance community and environmental community wellness. Happy Roots partners with other entities such as NC Community Garden, NC State University Institute Plants for Human Health, and Farm to School Coalition of North Carolina. It has 25 programs in 25 Rowan and Salisbury schools, where it benefits students to include increased academic success, better interpersonal relationships, educating children about environmental stewardship, and agricultural vocational opportunities. Happy Roots also provides therapeutic horticulture services to seniors. Improved balance, physical well-being, cognitive and social skills are just a few of the benefits of seniors working with Happy Roots. The Happy Roots Earth Day Jam is a day of music, family fun, food, and brews, all on the green at Salisbury. And we have a booth there, and you can sign up to volunteer. As of last night, there are only 9 slots left, so you better hurry up. There's a sign and a QR code that you can show you how to sign up for it. So thank you.
Thank you, Gio. For other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service. Or if you are on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place? Oh, excuse me. I would like to invite Sandy to please come up with an announcement.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Sandy Vermillion, and I just want to do a quick announcement about our first Friendship Potluck Dinner this coming Saturday. I've been working with Jennifer. We've planned the process, and we looked at, we're having it in the meeting house, and right at the first we said we could only have 10 adults coming. So we do have 10 adults coming, and we're excited because, you know, they were in touch with me, or they contacted me in some way. And so we're very excited to have this starting. I'm sorry some of you didn't get in on it, but we will have future friendship dinners, probably in homes. And we already have another home lined up. And after the auction, we'll be announcing a date for that. So if you're interested in hosting, the hosts are responsible for the main menu. And I'm working with Val Whitfield on that. And then the other attendees bring the side dish. And we contact them to sort of arrange, to work out the dinner so that it's spread out in a small group. So these are small group dinners, social time. Val and I are really excited about it and looking forward to just having a good time this coming Saturday. So keep in touch, keep your eye on the newsletters, emails coming out as for when our next friendship dinner will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. And again, whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
Before we have our chalice lighting, I know that hopefully all of you who are on our email list saw that we're having challenges with my email sending out a scam thing. I do have a new computer, but my Gmail account does not recognize the new computer yet. And so if you have emailed me since yesterday, I'm not able to access it. But Deb and I are going to figure this out tomorrow and get everything all taken care of. So just want to let you know that I still have a little bit of lag time before I'm going to be able to access my Gmail account, my Gmail with that. And so thank you for your patience and the wonderful time of technology that we all deal with in today's world, right? So as we gather this morning, we know that Easter morning always dawns with light. Yes, thank you, Rose. Yes, she's full of light today. So now it might only be a small glimmer in the darkness, but we know that eventually the full sun will be bursting with radiant new life and possibilities which cannot be stopped. Our chalice today reminds us of the unstoppable light that bursts forth on Easter, especially when things seem the darkest. We welcome the light today and invite new life and possibility into our hearts and into our world. I invite you now to please join me in singing the words to the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of our faith. They are found in your bulletin. Anne. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our call to worship, which is found in your bulletin. A tomb is no place to stay, be it a cave in the Judean hills or the dark cavern of the spirit.
A tomb is no place to stay. When fresh grass rolls away to snow and winter cold, and valiant flowers burst their way to the warmth and light.
A tomb is no place to stay when each morning announces our reprieve, and we know we are granted yet another day of living.
A tomb is no place to stay when life lasts a welcome to hearts that have been away too long.
Our opening hymn is found in our gray hymnal, number 63, Spring Has Now Unwrapped the Flowers. Please be seated. And now invite our young ones to come forward for our Time for All Ages with Miss Jennifer.
No? Oh, yeah, we are. There we go. All right, hello. Thank you for joining me on the carpet today. And looks like we are all friends here that we have seen before. Well, I want you guys to look around and tell me what you see that's new. Flowers, right. So today we're doing flower communion here. It's Easter, but it's also flower communion here at the UU. And so flowers and the flower communion help us symbolize love that sometimes is hidden deep within us. So flowers are beautiful. Yeah, they're quite lovely. And they can sometimes symbolize the love that we find within us. Sometimes they're so beautiful, their beauty can't even be measured. Just like our feelings and our heart and our love that we have for each other and our family and our friends and our community. But sometimes their life is short and their beauty fades. And sometimes their beauty fades and the petals fall to the ground. But what happens for next year? What do the flowers do? They bloom again, don't they? They return. They die and then they return. They respawn. So, and here I have picked a little flower, a very young flower. Why do you think I picked a teeny tiny little young flower?
Because you wanted to show us.
I do want to show you. So this little young flower represents you. this new life that has joined us in our community here at Piedmont UU. And we, just like today, we're going to love and cherish and share the flowers. We, as a UU community, share love and hope and beauty with each of you, with the hope that as you grow older, you will pass that love and joy and beauty on to the next generation. The flower also represents the community here at the UU. Each person that you see here brought a flower today, and someone else will come up and pick that flower and take it home. And it symbolizes, what do you think? That people bring the flower and take a different flower home. What do you think that that means? Sharing, community, trading. So exchanging ideas, exchanging love, exchanging community. I think that's good. The flowers also represent the community that we have with all of humanity. That we may be different, we may never see their faces, but we share hopes, we share dreams, and we share love. Okay? So what we're going to do now is all of our nursery children are going to be able to come up and pick out their flower now. And the older RE children, you're going to come back to your parents, and we're going to participate in flower communion with the whole congregation. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, he's going to pick out a flower. So my little bitty, as I'm having tech problems again, you want to pick out a flower? And I brought scissors this time in case we need them.
So we now enter to our time for ritual and sacred sharing, a time where we share our joys and sorrows, concerns, and milestones. So we light a candle first for the possibility of new life. We light a candle for peace to emerge quickly from the war in the Middle East, for hearts to be turned to work towards peace, and especially for the lives lost and the people being harmed. For all who are being impacted by ICE raids and activity, and for all areas of violence around the world, especially the ongoing war in Ukraine. Now, at this time, you are welcome to come forward as you feel called. You can come forward along this far wall over here. We have our prayer stand with a prayer card you can fill out and place on the stand. We also have our stones over here by the prayer stand today. So you may place a stone in our shared water, or you may light a candle of joy or concern. And we'll have the flower ritual in just a few minutes. But you may come forward as you would like to do so for our prayer cards, candles, or stones. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts that remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. Now, at this time, we will enter into a time for quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. I will sound the singing bowl, and then during the time of silence, I invite you to settle more fully into your seat and take some good deep breaths. And in your mind and your heart to say, I am open to the possibility of new life. I am open to the possibility of new life. And after that period of silence, we will then all join in our musical meditation together. This time we will have our flower communion ritual. As part of my sermon, I will, you know what, boy? Okay. Jennifer and I were talking about how just nothing's quite exactly going right, just like I'm going to jump in before Gazette does our wisdom reading. So, I mean, we all have those days. Things just a little bit off. So,
I think it's contagious.
It is. It's been going on since Salisbury gathering worship this morning. So anyway, Gazette, thank you.
If anything, I can roll with the flow. Today our wisdom reading is Flower Communion Blessing by Amy Zucker, Morgenstern. Each of us is a flower with a delicate beauty uniquely our own. We may be like sunflowers, turning always to the light. May our lives bloom like the flowers. We may be like night-blooming cereus, only displaying our fragrant petals when it is dark and we think no one can see. May we bloom like the flowers. We may be hothouse flowers, far from our native lands, cautiously tended within a harsh and unfamiliar climate. May our lives bloom like the flowers. We may be gray-headed like dandelions, eager to launch the new generation with the first strong gust of wind, past our own bright youth, but ready to pass our wisdom on to precious gossamer-carried seeds. May our lives bloom like the flowers. Some of us, sometimes, spring up overnight and fade in the hot glare. May our lives be like the flowers. Some of us sometimes are roses, slowly assembling petal after tightly wrapped petal and revealing our full glory when everything is in place. May our lives be like the flowers. Sometimes we are roadside weeds, loveliness bursting improbably from the dust and the debris. May our lives be like the flowers. May we offer our beauty with the simplicity of flowers, expecting no recognition, hoping for nothing, giving out what we are, and knowing it is enough. May our lives bloom like flowers.
Okay, now we're ready for the flower communion ritual. We need to hear this wonderful blessing first. In my message in a few moments, I will tell you a little bit more about the history and how the flower communion ritual came about. In just a few moments, I will invite you to come forward and select a flower to take home. Now, if you either forgot or didn't know to bring a flower today, that is just fine. We have plenty of flowers, so please still come forward. We also have some paper flowers over here, right? Okay, yes, I need to, and one over here, if you would prefer that. So as you take your flower home, in the coming days, I invite you to spend a few moments every day with that flower and to think about all the possibilities that are blooming. Possibilities which are blooming in your own life and in the world around us. To think about the possibilities that are blooming here in our beloved community of Piedmont UU Church. So you will see we have two different tables, and so I invite you, I think it certainly is whichever table is closer to you, or perhaps if you have seen a flower that you think is just the one for you, I invite you to come forward, and Cosette and I will help trying to disentangle some of the flowers as we do that. So please come forward. I'd like to share the origin of Flower Communion. And the story of Flower Communion is really the story of Norbert Chopik. Now, you might have heard this story before. I do like to share it when we have Flower Communion, because it's one of those stories we need to continue to hear each year. Now, Norbert was born in Czechoslovakia a long time ago. His mother was a devout Catholic and his father was agnostic. Now, Norbert became an acolyte at age 10 back in 1890 in his mother's church in Czechoslovakia. At 18, Norbert moved to Vienna, where he was apprenticed to his uncle, who was a tailor. And there in Vienna, he discovered the Baptist community. Now, this was a different Baptist community than we might think of Southern Baptists here in the South in today's world, okay? So, but he became a minister in this community. Now, he went on to found almost a dozen churches all the way from Ukraine to Budapest. Quite the work that he was doing. And over time, the more people he encountered, the more work he did, his faith became more liberal, more progressive. And isn't it that way, I think, for so many of us? The more people we interact with, the more people who don't seem to be like ourselves, right? That the more diverse, the more inclusive that we often become. Now, Norbert, during World War I, left Bohemia, which is in Eastern Europe, under government threat, and he accepted a call to serve a Baptist church in New York City. And then one day in 1919, when he and his wife Maya were still there in New York City, he wrote in his diary, "I cannot be a Baptist anymore, even in compromise. The fire of new desires, new worlds is burning inside me." I think one thing about Unitarian Universalist, so many people have come from, they've left the traditions that their families brought them up in because things were changing. New worlds, new possibilities were opening in their spiritual life. And so they left those things behind. So Norbert went on to become a Unitarian minister. And in 1921, he and his wife, Maya, joined a Unitarian church in New Jersey, and which is where he developed his call. And they decided, as he was developing, working with his call, this new calling in this new church, he and Maya decided they wanted to return to their home in Czechoslovakia. And so they did in the early 1920s. He became the minister of the Unitarian Church, the Prague Liberal Religious Fellowship in Czechoslovakia, and it grew tremendously under his leadership. Now, as he was growing, ministering at this new congregation, which was growing tremendously, and many people had left older religious traditions which were not working for them anymore, he began to realize that this traditional Christian communion service of bread and wine, that we might call Eucharist or Holy Communion, that it wasn't really meeting the needs of his congregation anymore. So he looked for something new and different and creative to do with them, a special ritual that would have meaning. So Chopik turned to the beauty of the countryside, to the beauty and joy of flowers. In 1923, he developed the flower ceremony. He asked his congregants to bring a flower to church, perhaps a flower from their garden or from the countryside or just beside the road, wherever they saw one. And then when people arrived, he invited them to place a flower in a vase, and following the service, each person could take a different flower home. This was a symbol of the community and new life that existed within that church. Chapek was a visionary minister with a church ahead of its time, a church of imagination and radical inclusivity. It was bursting with the possibility of new life. I think, as we know from history, the world is often scared of new ways of thinking, new ways of existing in society. Now, as we stand here on this Easter morning, that was certainly what Jesus encountered, which led to his crucifixion by the Roman government. Now, Norbert experienced government opposition a number of times of his life. This ended up with him being arrested by the Gestapo in World War II in 1942. The Nazis accused Chapek of listening to foreign broadcasts and being a dissident. This minister who was trying to bring new ways of love into the world. And they sent him to the Dachau concentration camp. Even in the worst place you could imagine, Chapek held a flower ceremony there in Dachau, finding whatever flowers they could among the weeds of the camp. And they, all who gathered for that ceremony that day, testified to a beauty and a joy much larger than themselves, and an expansive love that would far outlive them. Now, the Nazis executed Norbert Chapek, but his spirit and his courage and his commitment live on today. Now, Norbert's wife Maya, before he was captured by the Nazis, had was able to escape as a refugee and come back to the United States. And so in 1940 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, she brought back the flower ceremony to the Unitarian church there. And since then, the flower communion, as we call it today, has expanded greatly, for UUs around the world celebrate and remember. Now, just like the days of Chapek, we're currently living in a society where more bad things are happening than we can recount. Every day when we look at the news or hear the news, we hear about more awful things, and things beyond what we could even imagine. And it's hard for us not to be overloaded, overwhelmed by the darkness of it. Yet on this Easter morning, let us remember that the possibility of new life is always before us. Theologian Reverend Frederick Buechner wrote, "Resurrection means that the worst thing is not the last thing. The worst thing is not the last thing." So on this Easter Sunday, when Christians around the world observe their most holy day, the observance of the resurrection of Jesus, it's about new life no matter what darkness has come before. The possibility of new life and hope is always before us, just as the flowers continue to emerge every spring after the winter. New life is always before us. So the flowers today remind us that new life always springs forth. As you take your flowers home after the service and you see flowers around you, around us here, where you live, wherever you go throughout your day, as you see these new flowers emerge, I invite you to take a moment to look at your flower that you hold in your hand, or the flowers that you see, and to say, help me be open to the possibility of new life. Let me remember the possibility of new life is always before me. We give thanks for the possibility of new life in our world, along our spiritual journey, and within our hearts and our beloved community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Thank you, Anne. That was lovely. Our offering words this morning were written by Paul Dalzell and have been slightly adapted for our special celebration this morning. The offering we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place, to these people. It is as much a ritual as singing together, lighting our chalice, or sharing our flower communion. It reminds us that it is a reminder of that form of love we call generosity. It is how we show that we believe in it is important to worship together, and it is important to help our community, and to say yes to the values of our faith. This month, we are sharing our offering plate with Happy Roots. Happy Roots is the 501c3 nonprofit organization providing nature-based therapeutic and educational services to enhance the wellness of the community and the environment. In a moment, our host will pass around the offering baskets. We ask that you pass each basket down your row when you receive it. You may place your gift this morning in the basket as they go by, Or you are always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting PUUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received.
We give thanks for your generous gifts, gifts which enable us to continue to embody the possibility of new life in our world around us. I invite you now, please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn, number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakens Again. Before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who help make our worship service possible. I also ask if you are able, if you can help take the hymnals over to the cart near the piano after the service. That's always a big help. Now let's do as we do each Sunday and take a pause for a moment to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words for others to hear, for the things for which we are grateful today.
I'm grateful that we have so many beautiful rituals to celebrate this time of year. I have two children across the street, and I agreed to be their grandmother, and we did pasanta, Czechoslovakian eggs.
Oh, wonderful. Gail is grateful for our online viewers. Gail's grateful for all the wonderful spring rituals we have and being able to celebrate Paitonka, okay, with her neighbors and across her road. So.
I'm grateful for successful surgeons, graceful surgeons who are able to improve my eyesight.
Yes. Grateful, in case anyone didn't hear, grateful for surgeons who are able to help improve, because that's eyesight, and we are very grateful as well for that.
Thank you for all of the wonderful auction items that are coming in. Please keep them coming. We're about halfway there.
Yes. We're grateful for all the wonderful auction items coming in. Please keep them coming. We're about halfway there. Becky's over here if you want to talk to her, and she can help give ideas. We also have sign up in the back as well. So.
I'm grateful my taps haven't flooded my condo again, allowing me to donate some of these items to the auction.
Hicks is grateful to be able to donate some of the auctions to items. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Grateful for the rain.
Grateful for the rain, absolutely. Yes.
I am grateful to be here for the first time as a long-time Unitarian from Long Island. I'm now in North Carolina. I'm very grateful to be here for the first time.
Oh, wonderful. For online viewers, we have someone who, longtime UU, who is here visiting for the first time. So.
I'm grateful for gardening.
Grateful for gardening, yes.
Houseplants and allergy medicine.
Oh, allergy medicine. Yes, a lot of us are grateful for that. Well, we are grateful for all these things and so much more which we hold in our hearts this morning. Let us now go forth, open to the possibilities of all things new. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. Now for our closing hymn, we form a circle. You may hold hands if you would like to, or you may simply place your hands on your heart.